Damn. Oof.
You know, if you join animal husbandry, you just have to worry about the geckos, right?
Nah,
Or the
man.
bunnies.
Or the bunnies.
The bunnies. Yeah, the bunnies.
Yeah, Cain, he sees shadows in the corner. He sees everyone kind of like either tweaking or almost denying the area and in their own personal way, and he's nervous for for obvious reasons, like what the fuck is in the corner staring at me, but he thinks this could be good for him.
Now, Misty, could you go ahead and read the captions on the yearbook page?
She didn't try to fit in, they adjusted their shape around her.
Right on.
After class, Misty set out to find Marcy, hoping to hang out and wind down. She eventually found her near the outer lawn, but with her came the rest of Jawlines, Zeke included. He stood a little off to the side, a far-off look haunting his eyes. Misty couldn't have known it, but he was still reeling from what happened in Dark Magic earlier. Even so, Marcy didn't let the energy drop. Just because practice isn't until tomorrow, she said, flashing a smirk, doesn't mean we need to let ourselves go today. It was then Misty noticed it. Every member of Jawlines was already mid-stretch, languidly pulling their arms over their heads or folding forward to touch their toes. Their casual attire was a mix of their own personal style choices and athleisure. They were, quite frankly, always ready to get physical, and it was mildly intimidating. Their bodies moved with a kind of ritualistic ease, like they'd done this 100 times before. It was clear this was more than just discipline. It was identity. And apparently, it didn't take breaks. So Misty, are you prepared to keep up with your energetic athletic friends of choice, or are you wary?
Misty is going to try to keep up, though if she gotta start stretching, then she will.
Marcy's eyes lit up the moment she noticed Misty had joined them, as she should. Well, look who decided to show up, she teased, tying her hair into a tighter ponytail. I hope you brought more than cuteness, Vera Dork. Try to keep up. And with that, she spun on her heel and darted off, laughter trailing behind her. Luca bounced on the ball of his feet a few times before giving Misty a boyish grin. Alright, come on. Let's go see the campus. And without waiting for a response, he was off too. At first, it looked like a casual run, but then Marcy leapt onto a ledge like she'd done it 100 times. One by one, the others followed, vaulting over benches, scaling rails, and twisting through narrow gaps. This wasn't a jog. This was mid-campus parkour. Misty, could you provide me with a dex roll?
Good, that's not me.
Hey guys!
I believe in you, Misty.
I believe in you. See? I believe
Yeah,
in you.
that's pretty good. That's decent.
On success, Misty's instincts kicked in. Her body finds the rhythm, vaulting over the railing, rolling and landing, catching the edge of a fountain. She surprises even herself. By the time they hit the rooftops, Marcy shoots her an impressed look. Misty, how does it feel to get physical?
Misty. Oh my god, not the dragon, Jesus. Or lizard. Look at that. So Misty doesn't see herself as much of a physical person. So when she was like, okay, let's do this, she didn't actually think she'd be able to do it. So she kind of surprised herself. And she's feeling a little bit confident now, like, oh my god, I'm doing it. I'm actually fucking doing it. So
As they rounded the next ledge, Marcy slowed slightly, glancing over her shoulder towards Zeke. His eyes were unfocused, his breathing uneven. You good? She asked, jogging back to his side. But Zeke didn't respond. His pupils contracted, lips curling into a low snarl. A rumble built in his throat, a warning growl. His fangs elongated, nostrils flaring like he was trying to fight something crawling under his skin. Zeke? Marcy started, reaching a hand towards his shoulder. The contact set him off. In one swift, uncontrolled motion, he swung his arm out, a burst of strength Misty could barely process, and Marcy was sent flying. She hit the rooftop wall with a bone-jarring thud, crumpling to the ground with a groan, her hand instinctively pressed against her back. Misty, this was supposed to be a casual workout. Now there's blood and fear. How do you respond?
Misty is wide-eyed, like she did not expect Zeke to do that. And she also knows touching him is probably not a good idea, so she kind of like rushes over to Marcy and like kind of like stays somewhat in front of her while kneeling down. It's just like, does this usually happen?
Is this normal for you athletes?
Could you give me an intel roll?
Yo, okay, hold on. Glamour off. +1. You said intel.
Yes.
Okay, rolling well.
Across the roof, Marcy hissed as she tried to sit up, her expression tight. I'm fine, she lied, hand gripping her side. Misty, looking back, she could catch something wrong. Beneath Marcy's skin, something shifts. Her bones twitch, then grind back into place, slowly, painfully. She's not just hurt, she's healing, unnaturally. Luca blurred past Misty, so fast her eyes couldn't track him. He was already on Zeke, wrapping an arm around his neck in a crushing headlock. Chill, man. It's okay. It's okay. Luca shouted, struggling to hold his friend still. Breathe. Breathe. Zeke thrashed at first, wild and unseeing, until Luca tightened his grip, anchoring him in place. You're not there. You're here. With us. You're good. Luca murmured, with a forceful calm, repeating it like a grounding mantra. You're good. Eventually, Zeke's body stopped shaking. The growls faded, and he slumped in Luca's hold, chest heaving, eyes glassy. The rooftop was meant to be an escape, not a crisis. Marcy's hurt, Zeke's shaken, and Luca's trying his best to hold it all together. Misty, what do you do?
She's watching Marcy like somewhat heal, She thinks, and she's just like, okay, so you're fine. I don't really need to worry about you. And plus, you don't want me to worry about you. But I am worried about you. But the way Misty is positioned, it seemed like if she had to jump on somebody, she probably would jump. But it seems like Zeke is calming down a bit. It's also not her place to speak right now. Just make sure the vibes are good. And just waiting for the next set of commands.
So, you're not going to say anything?
I am going to... I am going to ask Marcy if she wants me to carry her, or will she be fine?
Marcy is going to look insulted at the insinuation, fighting her way to her feet and taking her hand off her back. You can see a grotesque shift beneath her skin, likely a side effect of the perceived healing, before she walks over to Luca and Zeke. Zeke is breathing hard, but he's in place. Luca is maintaining his hold until Marcy meets their side again, of which he releases his friend and they both kind of roll off of each other in a huff. She's gonna be like, pathetic. Yeah, the next time you're going to hit me like that, you may as well kill me. You only get one hit in. Next time I'm killing you. Before she treks off and just continues on the parkour path that she was on, as if she wasn't harmed at all, or at least she's pretending not to be.
Wow. Okay. Guess we have some stuff to talk about later, I guess.
She built different. She's on a
Crazy.
completely different wavelength.
One of her friends started tweaking. She's like, "Fuck you!" Fuck
Lock in, bro! We still got 2 miles to go!
fucking insane.
Just left Luca on the floor too. Like he just.
Kudos to Luca though. That man, he did the thing. He did the thing.
Marcy has her moment, and Luca and Zeke are just on the floor. They're looking at the sky for a second. And Zeke goes, "Yeah, I'm out for today." And he sits up. And he kind of like puts his hands on his knees. He gets up with much care. And he's like, And he doesn't say anything. He just parkours in the direction back to Equinoxia. Luca's laying on the floor for a moment. And he looks to where Zeke went. And he looks to where Marcy went. And he just... Fuck. And he gets back up. And he looks to Misty as he steps a few feet in the direction of where Marcy is going. And he goes, "You coming?"
You sure Zeke will be okay?
He's heading home, should be fine.
Okay, then, yeah, I'm coming.
Alright, so Luca and Misty choose to keep in stride with Marcy, leaving Zeke to channel his demons on his own for now. Now, that brings us over to Tim.
All right.
Tim, could you read your yearbook captions for us?
Between moons and misfits, Tim had found his galaxy.
Tim found himself not walking home alone. It didn't take long for Roman and Salem to catch up with him. After they emerged from their final class, Salem dug around in their messenger bag and pulled out a small cassette tape, holding it with a little grin. I thought that we could have a listening party tonight in Tim's room, they offered. Roman squinted at it, eyebrows raised. Is that a tape? Like an actual tape? Was it Stranger Things? Salem let out a breathy laugh. Don't tease me. Then they looked to Tim with more genuine curiosity. What do you think, Tim? A listening party sounds like it'd be tons of fun. Tons of fun, right?
Music is music, Romaine. Look, if it comes from a tape, from somebody's mouth, record, CD, doesn't matter. I say yes. I say we do it.
Roman just kind of rolls his eyes, but he doesn't necessarily oppose, he just complies. Tim, how does it feel to know that Romaine and Salem have taken a natural liking to you and are in fact drawn to your company?
It feels pretty good. He was absolutely nervous at that train station. He couldn't stop just like thinking to himself, and having somebody like Salem approach him first, like on the first day, just walking up to him, and then seeing Romaine kind of warm up and almost change like the way he was from exactly like from when he was at lunch. Felt like Romaine was like talking, he was engaging compared to like the very first time he spoke. He felt like too like a proper, was a little uptight. So he's feeling good about this. He loves it. He's feeling as comfortable as can be.
As they settled into Tim's room, Salem pulled out her cassette player with confidence, much to Romaine's dismay. He muttered something about sound quality before Salem spoke over him. My cousin made this one for me. They inserted it into the small portable tape player. A low hiss. Then it started to play Cigarettes After Sex, Apocalypse. The dreamy, melancholy track filled the room with the mood too tender for how tense the day had been. I love this song, Salem said quietly. It feels like a memory. I listen to them sometimes, Romaine admitted, surprising himself. Tim, have you ever listened to this artist before, and what's your opinion on Salem's taste in music?
I can't say that I have listened to this before, but I'm a man of many cultures, and I think this is definitely up there with some of the songs that I've listened to before. I'm really enjoying this right now, and I'm surprised to see that, Romaine, you listen to this, apparently. Wouldn't expect that out of you.
I dabble in many genres. And then there was static, sharp and sudden, like teeth tearing through silk. The tape screeched, a voice crackled in, faint but clear. Are you sure that the one we need is in that class of first years? Romaine straightened. Salem froze. That's not my tape. Tim?
Is this part of the song?
No.
Huh.
Another voice. Ethan. My investigation's a direct order from the deity of creation herself. She swears by this class, and she's never steered me wrong. The foreign voice chimed in. So what?
Bro, why do I gotta get to Ethan mysterious stuff, man? What the fuck?
So what? We're just supposed to wait around and see who develops a knack for it. Wouldn't it just be easier to pick someone from the 3rd or 4th year? Ethan responded. You can do whatever you want, but I know what I was sent here for, and that's a mission I'll carry out. There was a pause, then Ethan's voice again. More urgent this time. Shit. Looks like Zeke's crashing out. Snap. The static cut off. The song resumed. But the three of them weren't the same. They just sat there, listening in stunned silence, the lyrics suddenly distant and irrelevant. Tim, something strange has just reached you, and someone out there was watching. What is your response to the information you received?
Salem, where did you say you got this tape from?
My cousin!
Who's your cousin?
He's immortal! No, not immortal. He is amortal, as in human, as in has nothing to do with this institution.
Okay. Well, so much for trying to just listen to some music.
Romaine sits up, looking around as if there's someone's watching him. Okay, what the hell was that? His voice is low, but sharp like he's trying not to freak out. That was Ethan, right? Professor Ethan. Talking about what? Missions? Creation deities? Zeke? What does any of that even mean? He panicked while running his hands through his hair, and Salem is still holding the cassette player, their hands trembling slightly as they try to play it off with a nervous smile. I've never heard it do that before. They glance towards the horizon like they expect someone to emerge from the shadows. She's never steered me wrong. That's what he said. The deity of creation. They look at Romaine and Tim. You think he's talking about one of us?
Did you leave this tape anywhere?
No, it's been in my bag all day.
This had to have been an accident. There's no way this is meant for one of us. I don't even know what my powers are.
Tim, your friends are clearly shaken, and now they're both looking at you like somehow you're the one who will know what to do next. Now you have a choice to make. Do you downplay it, tell them to keep it quiet for now, or do you lean in and suggest investigation? What's your move, Tim?
Oh, come on, you already know I'm gonna go investigation. Silly question.
Like, that was a silly ass question.
Silly.
Eating up the lore. How do you tell them to investigate? They're looking at you like, bro.
Okay. If we restart the song, do you think that'll play back?
I mean, we could certainly try, says Salem as they're already like rewinding it with the pen tool end.
Okay, Salem, you rewind that. Romaine, get out something to write down whatever he says, because I don't think we can keep replaying this just in case it stops one day, because it's apparently it just suddenly appeared, and if it suddenly disappears, we're kind of lost here. So let's get this going.
Salem rewinds the tape and plays it back, and in the second playthrough, the song just plays as intended.
Of course it does.
Romaine is getting
Okay.
frustrated.
There are other songs on this, right?
Yeah.
Try playing a random one. Maybe like the message is moved somewhere else or on a different song.
Fair. As you all sit here at your listening party, you hear nothing but the music, which turns out to be the listening party that you intended, but unfortunately, there's much more that needs to be planned and discussed. So Tim, you're going to take some time to think about how you want to move forward with Romaine and Salem on this tangent. You could do so in your group chat throughout the week if you want to ask me questions or ask them questions, but to give you some time on how you want to plan your investigation.
Okay, I have a damn. I got a lot of work to do. That's 2 investigations I gotta start going through. I think I'm gonna have to put the other one on the sideline for now.
Yeah, maybe this whole thing is Ethan to discover which student he wants to date.
That'd be pretty insane.
That'd be wild.
Got the creation, man.
All right.
Now, Bentley, can you read us your yearbook caption?
One prank, one quiet laugh, and suddenly the world was softer.
Bentley stumbled out of his final core class for the afternoon, barely registering the corridor around him before he felt familiar warmth slide against his left arm. It was Kai, his best friend, who had already linked their arms with affectionate ease. Kai's expression was bright, a rare grounding kind of joy that stood in stark contrast to the fatigue and confusion painted on some of their classmates' faces. Like you could watch Zeke walking off before he crashes out. So, Kai said softly, leaning in. We're still meeting in your room tonight, right? Gotta go through our wish list. I want to hear all of yours.
Yeah. I did the little amulet thing, so it's like nice in there now. We can go ahead.
Good. Bentley, are you still enthusiastic to spend time with your closest friend Kai on your first free night of the evening?
They're like a small breath of fresh air. Class was really hard, and common courtesies was something. It was just something. So Kai being enthusiastic to spend time with you and being excited to get their first gift is you think going to be the thing that carries you. It's gonna be your little silver lining. So you're very excited to have somebody in your dorm room.
As they walked side by side, Kai flipped open their sleek Razor phone, scrolling with a curious frown. So, I was talking to some of the others in class, they murmured, voice low, and we noticed something weird. Not everyone got the same amount of lunch money on their account. They glanced over at Bentley, thoughtful. How much did you get? I'm trying to figure out what the discrepancy might be. Like, is it based on grades, our houses, or maybe... They trailed off, clearly thinking hard. So Bentley, do you trust your best friend Kai enough to share?
I mean, if you feel like you've been shorted something, I got like $400.
Kai blinked at Bentley's response, then grinned. Fascinating. They tucked the phone away and leaned in a little, voice dropping to a hush. Don't let anyone know your number though, okay? You don't want them treating you differently just because you've got money. They gave a little shrug, playful but earnest. Then I'd have to fight them or something, and let's be real, I'm not that strong. I bruise like a peach. Despite the joke, there was a flicker of sincerity behind their eyes. Kai trailed Bentley all the way into the house of Viradora and past the common space right to his bedroom.
I don't think you gotta fight no one. I mean, I could keep it a secret, but I don't. I mean, I spent some money on lunch. Breakfast today was real rough. I guess I gotta start eating different now, but it's just not really like good yet. Did you have that issue with breakfast?
No, my breakfast was fine. They say, simply enough.
Yeah, what'd they give you? I heard they gave Misty like raw eggs.
Let me open. Give me a second. Kai. Oh, my eggs were not raw. They were scrambled. I got some pancakes, some bacon, scrambled eggs. Yeah. Traditional breakfast stuff.
Oh, that sounds nice. That's like diner food. I got like, I think it was deer. and like some root vegetables. I didn't know what a root vegetable was. I didn't know what was like in that category, but it's like carrots and stuff, I guess.
The moment they stepped inside Bentley's bedroom, Kai's eyes widened. Bentley's room shimmered with earthy tones woven into the walls, and furniture that subtly adjusted the room's mood. Okay, you have taste, Kai hummed, clearly impressed as they wandered in. Then, flopping onto the edge of Bentley's bed with a mischievous grin, they asked, "Hey, do you mind if we just cuddle while I explore these apps? Your room makes me feel all cozy and gay."
Huh? I mean, yeah. We could totally do that. Let me just. They're like lifting their comforter and like, should I? You know what I mean? Like fluff a pillow or something? I never.
Sure enough, Kai kicked off their shoes and casually shrugged off their overshirt, draping it neatly over the end table, just enough decorum to show respect for Bentley's space. They climbed into the bed with ease, nestling close with their head rested comfortably on Bentley's shoulder. With a soft hum, they held out their phone for both of them to view the SSS Marketplace app together. Just like Ethan had said, it resembled Amazon, but with magical flair. Enchanted trinkets, starting gear, and crafting kits. Kai scrolled lazily, then mentioned with a smile that, "Hey, in my elemental manipulation class today, we made some pretty cool rocks. I can't give you one yet. They were too hot to take home."
You made rocks? Do you? I don't know if you're really into rocks, but you know what kind of rocks you made?
I don't know yet. They were really heated, so I'm gonna chip away some of the magma and see what's underneath.
That sounds so cool. I'm taking animal husbandry, and it was cool, but like, I don't know if it's because the kind of animal I am, but they do not like me. Those animals do not like me.
Hey, speaking of classes, do you trust our professors? Like, all of them?
Well, do you want me to be honest, or you want me to tell you something that's gonna make you sleep good at night?
Well, would you tell me if something fell off? Like, if you had a bad feeling?
Yeah, I could definitely tell you that. I mean, I can't help but think about this conversation I had at the little orientation party for our dormitory. Somebody was telling me that they don't really think that we're here for like, I guess, charity reasons. Like there's some sort of reason why we're here. And then, it was me on the paper that asked like, hey, is this some service we're getting in exchange or anything? And they could have just said no, but they just decided not to answer at all. And kind of put a weird taste in my mouth.
Okay. If you don't mind me asking, what are you?
Uh, I'm a lichen.
Kai let out a quiet breath, fiddling with the corner of Bentley's blanket. Okay. I don't really want to tell you what I am, though, they said, voice softer than usual. You'll laugh, or maybe you won't, but I feel like you are, so just... Yeah, I don't want to tell you.
I mean, you ain't really gotta tell me nothing you're not comfortable with, but I'm in no position to laugh. I literally crash out and I become a dog. So like, I don't know how much worse it gets from there, but I'm pretty low on that totem pool of cold things that you can become.
Yeah, so let's just say some of the things I want in this world, they feel impossible when you're a guy who's 5'4". I know that's dumb, but most of the roles I wish I could play, the things I wish people saw when they looked at me, they just don't come in my size. I mean, people want like the Jaspers, tall, stoic, strong-jawed. I was so upset when my species finally emerged, not just because of the pain and the death, but because I thought maybe, just maybe, I'd get to come back new, better, taller even. There was a pause and an exhale, and Kai shifted closer, resting your head just under Bentley's jaw. But it's okay, because you like me small, right?
I like you for who you are. Something I learned was that you like somebody for their soul, not necessarily their body. I mean, I think you're real pretty too, but like, I don't care if you're like 6'9" or 5'1". It don't really matter. Unless, of course, you're trying to wear my clothes, and that would matter. But we figured it out. We figured it out.
Kai murmured softly, "Good," their voice barely above a whisper as they shifted even closer into Bentley's side. With a lazy motion, they handed over their phone, the screen still glowing faintly with the SS Marketplace app open. They removed their glasses next, folding them carefully and placing them on the nightstand, their eyes fluttering shut, lashes brushing against their cheek. "My wish list is already on there," they mumbled, the edge of sleep already in their tone. "Just surprise me. I'll love whatever you pick." Bentley, your best friend Kai, is asleep beside you, his breathing steady, his presence soft. He feels safe with you, safe enough to nap in your bed after just 24 hours of knowing you. That kind of trust doesn't come easily, and yet here it is. He's messy, and his wish list is in your hands. What would you like to do with it, now that he's placed his faith in you?
We really gotta talk about like safety and precautions when they wake back up, cause like that. You know what? I promise I get them a gift. I'll just, they like put a cover over them, slide a pillow under their head. They think maybe they just had a bad morning, and maybe they fronting about that whole breakfast thing, because that really, really had me starting off the day on the wrong foot. And they browse through their wish list and they're trying to get an idea of like, one, how often their card's gonna reload, and two, what kind of gifts they have on there.
Alright. You will have time to have a stern talking to Kai, should you choose to explore, in your private messages. In the meantime, Cain, can you do me the honor of reading your captions?
Woo.
Yes, I can. He brought snacks, she brought charm. Two loud silences shared a soft moment.
Cain had just started organizing his desk when there was a quick knock, followed by the unmistakable creak of the door opening before he could answer. If it was locked? Ava slipped inside without waiting for permission, her oversized tote bag bumping against the doorframe as she grinned, already mid-sentence. "I brought my homework!" "Well, some of it," she chirped. "You want to compare?" Cain, are you okay with Ava barging in like that, or would you prefer to set a boundary?
Cain is perfectly okay with that. And he goes, yeah, I have some notes here. Class was kind of eerie. And he's kind of like, pacing around trying to, like, quick, like, throw stuff in the corner because he hasn't really had a chance to, like, tidy up.
She flopped dramatically onto the edge of his bed, sitting crisscross with her shoes on while digging through her bag. Shoes in your bed, bro. Okay, so I didn't really get that history assignment, she admitted, but I did the math one, sort of. She handed him a crumpled piece of paper, slightly damp, covered in not just equations, but also swirling runes, tiny moons in the margins, and what might have been a protection sigil over the number 42. "I think the numbers were trying to tell me something. Like, they wanted to be in love, or fight. Anyway, I think I accidentally summoned something during lunch. She blinked, then beamed. But it hasn't said anything yet, so maybe it's shy.
Oh, King kind of looks around to see if he sees anything kind of behind her or in the hallway of the dorms. Well, he did more than I did. Dark magic class was, like I said earlier, eerie. It was a lot of just theorizing. We learned about some older student who kind of got roped into some things and is.
Hey. Why is your hand black?
Oh, right. This was towards the end of the class. This he remembers he was about to like explain it, and he remembers what Professor Fell something said. Fellhar, I think. And he goes, "Oh yeah, this is we all got a mark of the devil on our hands or on our bodies from dark magic class because we are gonna start practicing dark magic."
Oh. So you made, like, a deal with the devil?
Roughly, yeah. I mean, it's part of the course.
What did you sell your soul for? Like, are you rich now? Are you famous? Are you, like, hot? Do you need a refund?
Do you need a refund? For now, no refund. I'll know the extent of the deal in next class. But to answer some of your questions, I was yeah, kind of already had some money before the mark. So.
Oh. Hey, do you think that the moon is a girl? She said while continuing to dig through her bag, completely unbothered by the fact that maybe you are Satan now.
Unbothered. Gotta write that in my notes to tell Professor.
And what would you do if your magic turned your bed into soup?
I would hope that I have a spell to turn it not into soup.
Yeah.
As well as, yeah, she can be a girl, the moon. I mean, I don't, maybe she's genderless? They're genderless?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Ava eventually curls her knees to her chest, looking at Cain sideways as she kind of like throws her torso off of his bed so that her legs are in the bed, but she's like hanging upside down off the edge. You know, people say that I'm weird, she said out of nowhere. Not in a bad way, I like it, but sometimes I feel like I'm trying to live in a world built for people who make sense. She paused, playing with one of her glitter pens like it was a fidget toy. You haven't cringed at my presence yet, and that's cool. Then she looked up. But if I accidentally summoned a demon into my room, later can I crash on your floor?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you don't have to sleep on the floor. I can sleep on the floor. I don't know if I need sleep. You can, yeah, you can stay with me if your room feels like unsafe.
Okay. Ava perked up suddenly. Oh, before I forget. She pulled a fistful of herbs from her bag, tied with a frayed shoelace, and dropped it into Cain's hands. It smelled like sea salt, sand, and something strange. Put this in your pillow tonight? She said brightly. Tell me your dreams in the morning. Or write them down and pass me a note.
Uh, sure. Where'd you get this from?
Yeah. And she winked and kind of does like a roll back onto her feet from off the side of the bed. We were gonna go explore the campus, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You want to take pictures, right? To do some more drawings?
Okay, thanks. Let's go. And without an explanation, no discussion of the homework, no discussion of why she gave you that herb, if it's a kind of spell, not answering any of the questions that you propose, she walks out the door just as she had come for you all to move on to the next task. Cain,
Cain quickly puts the stuff under his pillow and follows along.
Ava may be chaotic, but she's letting her walls down in your space. Do you have any qualms with following her instructions, or do you just intend to sleep with one eye open?
uh, you know, with uh, with everything that the professor said in dark magic class, um, if the truth of his true self is gonna be out anyways, especially since that's his primary, he kind of just is gonna keep an open book with everyone, especially someone who he considers a close friend like Ava. So nothing kind of startles him. He follows the instructions. You know, he puts the little sea salt and herbs under his bed. Uh, Keeps his door, I guess, unlocked, so if she needs a place to slay, she can quickly uh, come in without any knocking necessary. And follows along, sees where the day takes them.
Okay. An adventure that you can explore in your private conversations. Now, between strange classes, cryptic teachers, whispered conversation, and magical glitches, you've survived. Barely. But in the flicker of firelight and the buzz of distant laughter, there's something else growing: curiosity, connection, and the quiet promise of chaos yet to come. So, players, now that the sun has set, a few questions for reflection. Who do you think is most likely to break the rules next? And why?
Most likely to break the rules next.
Ooh, that's a good one. Oh, where is he? I didn't think I saw him this campaign, but there's
Come on,
somebody
Ash.
who would. Hmm?
You're talking about Ash, probably.
Yeah, like, cause Ash already kind of prematurely broke the rules or did something because they weren't selected for a club. Like they just didn't show up during that. But then Sarah was missing. So Sarah could have already broken the rules and the news hasn't broke out yet. What do you think?
I think that it's gonna be. I have two, kind of. I'm like between two, and I'm between Zeke and Rosalind. I think Zeke, he's going through a lot. He's in a lot of spaces, and I think with the type of uh uh the race he is, it being like a lichen, I think it might be an unintentional rule break, especially since he's taking dark magic class. Well, Rosalind, she seems kind of in the vibe of Sarah, where she seems a little like not necessarily too trustworthy of the space, which is valid in their own right. So might follow in Sarah's footsteps a little bit there. Misty.
I was probably thinking Sarah too, and honestly, unfortunately, maybe Zeke, since he just suddenly lashed out. I don't know what made him tweet, but he might accidentally break the rules by killing somebody.
Someone's just gone. Like one of the faces just fully gone from next campaign.
Tim?
I feel like it's all of me, roommate, and Salem.
Your entire group.
Because in my head, it's like, was this like a whisper he was referring to? Is this wall like? Is this supposed to be? I know it's a tape recorder, but maybe he doesn't know what a wall is. I don't know if we should report this or not, and I feel like that's rules we were breaking right there. I think we already broke one. And I tend to keep doing it.
Alright. I intend to keep doing it. Um, who do you trust less after today, Bentley?
This is a good question. Kai kind of emotionally opened up, and I feel like they're being a bit transparent about like their disappointment and maybe like their hesitations about what they became. So I'd say they're still kind of on that same barrier of like, I don't trust you more and I don't trust you less. You're just working out things. Sarah and Quinn were basically normal. Jasper, God bless his soul. Hope he doesn't get kicked out of his group chat. I don't know. I don't think it's any of the student body yet because he doesn't know what happened between like Zeke and Marcy and all of them.
Cain.
I think it's for me and for Cain, I think Cain Delilah. I think she was kind of, everyone kind of like in that class were going through things, but she kind of like the way she went about it feels kind of weird to why choose it, Because Jasper, he was there like trying to not give anyone any like clue into what he was going through, like looking up and whatever not, and kind of like avoiding the conversation. But instead of avoiding the conversation, Delilah kind of just pulled out a mirror, and that like vanity is like the exact opposite of like being true to the magic or whatever. So Delilah seems a little iffy.
Okay. Misty.
I probably don't trust it. I'm just gonna say Marcy for now. It's weird. She's just having a really hard time understanding her.
What about her confuses you?
Oh, it's just hard to talk to someone like her and like to understand how to like interact with them. Like the whole Zeke situation, I guess it's like a normal thing. I guess it happened before and she just brushed it off. Doesn't really want to talk about it. I don't think it's going to be a really hard time for me to like for both of us to gain trust with each other. So that's just what I see.
I don't think that the situation has happened before. I think that situation was just as startling for them as it was for you, and they all just kind of had an emotional response to it. So, like in Marcy's case, she sees herself as someone who's going to be on the top of the school, and I think she's expressed at some point that she thinks that she and Zeke are going to be at the top of the school, and then all of a sudden Zeke assaults you in a way that damages your body. So now you're going through that social pressure and also the pain of recovery. And you go from being a tough person to someone that needs to be protected. And that's a lot for her to wrap her head around. So the easiest thing to do was like move away from it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that made sense.
Alright. Tim. What
Ethan.
Real?
What's wrong with
Hi.
Ethan?
I don't know. First, he didn't start off on the greatest fucking step, on the greatest foot at first off. He threatened our lives basically at the very beginning, right? And that I can understand. It's like, we want to keep these students straight. It's a magic school, so they should be able to take it, right? Like we can take a few punches here and there, right? We're all mystical creatures at some point. So it's whatever. I can brush that off. And then I'm trying to hang out with my friends. We're all listening to some music. Never heard it before. I'm I'm pumped right now. And all of a sudden, this random ass tape just starts playing in the middle of our jam, and Ethan's talking, or something like that, and I'm still confused. Do not trust him.
I see. Now.
You sound surprised.
Oh. What? Like.
I feel like I'm justified in thinking that he's suspicious. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't see what you're seeing, but I can understand why you came to such a conclusion. Yeah. Now, Cain, would you like to take a guess at what Ava actually is?
I think Ava is some sort of fish folk. Her paper was damp, and she has this like seesaw and or whatnot. I think she is of the water.
Fair, fair. Tim. Oh wait, you kind of already answered this. It was an Ethan-related question.
Hate that guy.
Bentley, you're crossing plenty of boundaries with Kai, without barely any knowledge of who they truly are. What's your biggest fear pertaining to this?
As a player, I think I'm setting myself up for failure every step of the way. I am basically opening the door to chaos and heartbreak. As a character, Bentley is very interested to see Kai continue to bring down their walls. They feel like there is a very emotionally intelligent person in there. It's just kind of trapped behind like that little flirty attitude they have to not have to address maybe some of those more in-depth issues and concerns they may have.
Okay. And Misty, you've witnessed the direct impact one of Zeke's classes had on his species. Does this make you nervous for any of your future classes?
Say that one more time, please.
So, you've witnessed how one of Zeke's classes had a side effect on him. Does that make you nervous for any of your future classes?
Yeah, because I did pick dark magic, so I don't know how my character is going to tweak. So that's going to be interesting to see.
Now, remember, you can text anyone from your group chat using the phone channels on Discord. If someone's caught your attention in character tonight, feel free to flirt, tease, or connect. Exchange numbers with people you're spending time with when you can. Text RP is totally optional, but if you do it, come ready to give a short recap next time. Just a little context for the table, unless you ask DM to keep it a secret. We love secrets here. Another page turns under the moonlight. Some truths were whispered, others hidden in the shadow, but the story is far from over. Rest well, dream deep, and remember, not everything that follows you is meant to be feared. Some things are just waiting for the right moment to emerge. And that seems like a great place to end our campaign for tonight.
I'm not supposed to like